Want to speak real Hungarian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HungarianPod101.com.
In this lesson, you will learn 3 different ways to say thank you and how to respond. Let's start with the easiest one. Köszönöm. Köszönöm. It means thank you. If you want to show your sincere appreciation for something, you can say this phrase. Köszönöm szépen. Köszönöm szépen. The word szépen means very much. So this expression means thank you very much. It expresses a deeper appreciation for a personal kindness. When you want to show your appreciation in a more casual way, you can use this expression, köszi. Köszi. When you want to thank your friends, use this expression. It means thanks. Now you know 3 different ways to say thank you in Hungarian, but how do you respond if someone thanks you? If someone thanks you in Hungarian, simply say nincs mit. It literally means nothing to thank for or you're welcome. Let's wrap up this lesson by recapping what we've learned. Listen to the expression and repeat after me. Thank you. Köszönöm. Köszönöm. Thank you very much. Köszönöm szépen. Köszönöm szépen. The casual way to say thank you. Köszi. Köszi. And to respond, just say nincs mit. Nincs mit. Well done! Be careful about köszi because it's really casual. Don't use it with superiors or people you are meeting for the first time. 10 phrases you never want to hear. Let's go! Our first example is felszedtél pár kilót mostanában? Have you gained weight recently? Felszedtél pár kilót mostanában? Have you gained weight recently? Well, it's not the most pleasant question to hear. Yeah, but if you are bodybuilding, then maybe you're happy to hear that. Van egy őszhajszálad. You have a gray hair. Van egy őszhajszálad. You have a gray hair. It depends on the person, I guess. I also have a lot of gray hair, so it's... if someone says it, it's like... it's normal! I started to get them when I was at university, I guess. The stress. Yeah, but anyways, some people, I guess, are sensitive about it. Some people don't. Depends on the person, but if you want to be careful, then it's better not to mention. Én megmondtam. I told you so. Én megmondtam. I told you so. In situations when you already know that you made a mistake or something happened and then someone is just tells you this, it's like, it's so annoying. Like, stop it, I know. This is something that I also don't really like to hear, so yeah, it's just probably better to avoid using when you're around people that you're not so close with. But even with my friends, I'm like, okay. Ki vagy rúgva. You're fired. Our next one is ki vagy rúgva. You're fired. Yeah, this is bad. Nem miattad, hanem miattam. It's not you, it's me. Nem miattad, hanem miattam. It is not you, it is me. Köszönjük az önéletrajzát. A pozíciót már betöltötték. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. Köszönjük az önéletrajzát. A pozíciót már betöltötték. Thank you for your resume. However, the position has been filled. Yeah, this is very annoying when you're anticipating to get the job and the job interview went just fine and you are 100% confident that you're gonna get the job, and then you hear this and you're like, okay, yeah. But even if you hear this, just be positive and go for the next one. Más embereket is meg kellene ismernünk. We should see other people. Más embereket is meg kellene ismernünk. We should see other people. When you want to break up with your partner, but you don't want to give the direct suggestion right away, then you can say this as a comment, or you might hear it as a comment, and probably it's not the most pleasant thing to hear when you're in a relationship. Ma nem tudom megadni a pénzed. I don't have your money today. Ma nem tudom megadni a pénzed. I don't have your money today. Beszélnünk kell. We need to talk. Beszélnünk kell. We need to talk. Yeah, we need to talk. It's something that you will eventually hear in your life in serious situations. So even if it's something that you don't want to hear, you're probably hearing. So be prepared. But normally it's not always dramatic that, oh, we need to talk. It's not like that. Bocsánat, elfelejtettem. Sorry, I forgot. Bocsánat, elfelejtettem. Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, it can be annoying when it's something important that you're anticipating or expecting to happen, and then it doesn't happen because the other person forgot it. Yeah, but what can you do? Just be patient, and the situation will turn into a positive situation, hopefully.
Want to speak real Hungarian from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at HungarianPod101.com.
10 phrases to amaze native speakers. Köszönöm, de igazság szerint nem ez az anyanyelvem. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. Köszönöm, de igazság szerint nem ez az anyanyelvem. Thank you, but I'm not a native speaker actually. If you are super fluent in the language and then people comment or even think that you are from that country and then you say that, then people are going to be really surprised. Mindössze 1 évbe telt, hogy megtanuljak folyékonyan beszélni. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. Mindössze 1 évbe telt, hogy megtanuljak folyékonyan beszélni. It took me only 1 year to become fluent. When people ask you how long have you been studying a language and then you say it took you just a year to become fluent, then it's definitely impressive. 3 éven belül anyanyelvi szinten fogok magyarul beszélni. I'll speak Hungarian like a native speaker in 3 years. 3 éven belül anyanyelvi szinten fogok magyarul beszélni. I'll speak Hungarian like a native speaker in 3 years. Please challenge yourself and let us know if it worked out. I'm really curious how long it took for our viewers to get in, not only into native level, but like just conversational level. Try it. 10 éve tanulok magyarul. I've been learning Hungarian for 10 years. 10 éve tanulok magyarul. I've been learning Hungarian for 10 years. How about you? How long have you been studying Hungarian? Please let us know in the comment section. Magyar filmeket felirat nélkül is tudok nézni. I can watch Hungarian movies without subtitles. Magyar filmeket felirat nélkül is tudok nézni. I can watch Hungarian movies without subtitles. To be able to watch Hungarian movies without subtitles, I think you have to be pretty much on a native speaker level. Depends on the movie too, but sometimes you hear slangs or regional language, then that could be a little bit difficult to understand. I think it's a good challenge to try how fluent you are to watch a movie without the subtitles and then, for example, have a discussion with your friends about the movie afterwards. That could be a really good practice. Meg tudok jegyezni 50 magyar szót egy nap alatt. I can memorize 50 Hungarian words a day. Meg tudok jegyezni 50 magyar szót egy nap alatt. I can memorize 50 Hungarian words a day. Memorizing 50 words a day is pretty impressive. I think I've never tried that much. A magyar nyelv szórakoztató és könnyen tanulható. Hungarian is fun and easy to learn. A magyar nyelv szórakoztató és könnyen tanulható. Hungarian is fun and easy to learn. That's right. Hungarian language is very interesting, I think. We have a lot of sounds, various ways how we can talk about something or even say a word. Because of that, our literature is pretty rich as well. If you're looking for a fun language, which is not really widespread yet, then please try out Hungarian. A magyar nyelven kívül egyéb nyelveken is beszélek. Apart from knowing Hungarian, I can speak a few other languages as well. A magyar nyelven kívül egyéb nyelveken is beszélek. Apart from knowing Hungarian, I can speak a few other languages as well. I speak Hungarian, English, and Japanese fluently. How about you? How many languages do you speak? Magamtól tanulok magyarul. I'm learning Hungarian all by myself. Magamtól tanulok magyarul. I'm learning Hungarian all by myself. That's very impressive, I think, if people ask you, how do you study Hungarian? And if you say, oh, it's all by myself because I'm interested, then they'll be both happy and impressed. I wonder if there are any sources in your country to study Hungarian, or are you going to language school, or do you take lessons from a teacher, or are you just studying on your own? I'm very interested, so please let us know in the comment section. Gyakran beszélek magyarul álmomban. I often speak in Hungarian in my dream. Gyakran beszélek magyarul álmomban. I often speak in Hungarian in my dream. That's a very interesting thing, that if you get to that level that you start to think and even dream in a foreign language, then probably you're really good at it.
Do you know how to say, I love you in Hungarian? In this lesson, you'll learn 3 different ways to say it. Let's start with how to express your feelings to your loved one.
Szeretlek. Szeretlek. Szeretlek.
Or if you want to explain those butterflies in your stomach, you can say,
Teljesen beléd vagyok esve. Teljesen beléd vagyok esve. Teljesen beléd vagyok esve.
And when you feel that I love you is not enough, you can say,
Szavakkal nem lehet leírni irántad érzett szerelmemet. Szavakkal nem lehet leírni irántad érzett szerelmemet. Szavakkal nem lehet leírni irántad érzett szerelmemet.
You just learned 3 different ways to say, I love you in Hungarian.
In this lesson, we are going to learn how to use elnézést and other words when apologizing in Hungarian. We should use elnézést in formal situations, such as when we are ordering something in bars or restaurants. For example, elnézést, egy kávét kérek. Excuse me, a coffee please. Elnézést, egy kávét kérek. We can also use it when asking a question. Elnézést, merre van a vár? Excuse me, where is the castle? Elnézést, merre van a vár? Sometimes we also hear people say bocsánat, which basically means the same thing as elnézést and can also be used to get somebody's attention. Bocsánat. We can also use the phrase ne haragudjon. You might hear this phrase translated as forgive me in English, but it literally means please don't be angry. Since it's quite formal, it's better to simply use elnézést instead. All of these phrases can be used for either excuse me or I'm sorry. But if you really want to apologize for something, it might be better to use a different phrase. That phrase is sajnálom. It means I am sorry and can be used in both formal and informal situations. Sajnálom. And now it's time for Livia's tips. Please remember that in Hungary, if you accidentally bump into someone, you can use both elnézést and bocsánat, meaning excuse me. In this lesson, we are going to learn a very useful phrase. Do you speak English? If you find yourself in a situation where you need assistance in English, this phrase can be a lifesaver. And because you are asking it in Hungarian, you can be sure that everyone will understand what you are saying, even if their answer is no. Here's the informal way to say it. Beszélsz angolul? Beszélsz angolul? Beszél means to speak. In Hungarian, verbs change depending on the active voice. You don't have to say the pronoun here. It is already built into the verb. Beszélsz means do you speak. Angolul literally means in English, with angol meaning the English language. Beszélsz angolul? We are now going to make this sentence formal. First, we need to use the formal version of you, which is ön. In this case, you have to include the word in the sentence. Also, we will have to conjugate the verb beszél differently. Beszél ön angolul? Beszél ön angolul? Adding elnézést, excuse me, the sentence becomes even more polite. Elnézést, beszél ön angolul? Elnézést, beszél ön angolul? The responses you will receive could be one of these three. Igen. Yes. Igen. Egy kicsit. A little. Egy kicsit. Nem beszélek angolul. No, I don't speak English. Nem beszélek angolul. Since this last one is a negative statement, we need to say nem before the verb beszél. Notice also that the verb beszélek is slightly different than beszél. Remember, the verb changes depending on the active voice. Beszélek indicates the first person pronoun, meaning I speak. Adding nem in front of it changes the meaning to I don't speak. Now it's time for Livia's tips. For those of you who are not only English speakers, you can obviously use this question with any language you need. Hungarian people study other languages at school, so maybe you will get lucky. Just substitute angolul with olaszul for Italian, oroszul for Russian, spanyolul for Spanish, németül for German. In this lesson, we mentioned the expression elnézést.
If you want to learn a language but don't have a lot of time to dedicate to the endeavor, you need to study as efficiently as possible. You probably aren't a language learning expert or a world traveler. You might have school or a job or two. So in this video, we'll give you 3 ways to help you learn language more efficiently so that you get the most out of your time and effort. Number 1, use your time when you have it. The most valuable resource you have as a language learner is time. While you may not have to spend money to learn a language, you will have to spend time. Hours and minutes are a currency that you trade on a weekly basis to grow in your language learning. Language learning is probably a priority for you. It might not be the number 1 priority, like keeping your job or taking care of your family, but it does have to be important enough for you to invest significant amounts of time into your learning. There's just no way around it. That being said, use your time wisely. Because of previous commitments, you can quickly fall into the trap of putting your language learning off, thinking, oh, I'll do it next week, or Saturday, I'll do it Saturday. Needless to say, a few weeks can go by and you haven't really learned or practiced anything. If you find that happening, then take some time and reevaluate your approach. It's probably a long shot for you to be able to spend hours every day learning a new foreign language, but you can use your time to spend an hour or even just 10 minutes a day, every day, studying or practicing. If you're on a busy schedule, an hour a day can sound like reaching for the stars, so start slowly with just a 5-minute lesson. Over time, as you learn more and it becomes more routine, you'll want to spend more time studying. And your studying doesn't even need to be all at once. Make use of the little gaps of time you have in the day. Listen to a podcast while driving to and from work. Review new words while on lunch break or right before bed. Even a quick review while in line at the store or waiting for the bus. Together, these moments add up. This way, your little study session will add up to around 60 minutes of practice every day. You'll quickly be able to see significant improvement in your language abilities. Number 2, don't method jump. When you're new to language learning, there's a temptation to try out the newest course, app, or method. There are more language learning tools and courses than I can list. But jumping around from podcast to podcast or from textbook to textbook can really hinder your learning process. It's important to find the best method for you, but when you do, stick with it. Don't get distracted by the newest app, or if you suddenly find something faster, cheaper, claiming it can teach you a language with no work on your part. Stick with your learning course or tool. Consistent practice over a period of time is what is essential for language learning. If you hit a bump or plateau, you might be tempted to think, maybe there's a faster or better way to learn. So you search around and buy the next best language learning tool, only to use it for a couple weeks and realize it wasn't really any better than the last course you tried, and the same difficulties you had are still there. If you're learning your first new language and you pick a specific method or course, we suggest you stick with it for at least 3 to 4 months. You actually hurt yourself in the long run if you constantly switch between resources because you never give yourself the opportunity to progress. Number 3, focus on one thing at a time. When you decide to learn a new language, you're going to be really excited. You have all your resources lined up, a plan in place, and you're ready to go. You think you'll spend 3 to 4 hours a day practicing and that you'll be fluent in no time, but that's only for about 3 days. Then you probably will get a little bit discouraged and avoid it for another 3 days. And this process might repeat 3 or 4 times before you realize that you might be approaching things the wrong way. You can't devour a whole new language in a very short time. You'll burn out immediately. It's better to focus on one small part of the language at a time, either a specific grammar point or a specific vocabulary topic. In the beginning, these should be based on the parts of the language you'll use right away. Even in the business world, research shows that replacing less important tasks with ones that add value and help you reach your goals is the best way to get the most out of your time. As you advance through the language and your level increases, try to pinpoint the harder aspects of the language and work on them one at a time. Learning a foreign language isn't easy. It takes time and work, but it is possible. If you stick to your learning plans and stay focused, you will see improvement in your skills and find satisfaction in using the language. Remember that learning a language is really more like a journey. It doesn't have to feel like school or work. Savor your experience with learning and enjoy every step along the way. And for even more tips on learning efficiently, check out our complete language learning program. Sign up for your free lifetime account by clicking on the link in the description. Get tons of resources to have you speaking in your target language. And if you enjoyed these tips, hit the like button, share the video with anyone who's trying to learn a new language, and subscribe to our channel. We release new videos every week. I'll see you next time. Bye! Great work! Here's a reward. Speed up your language learning with our PDF lessons. Get all of our best PDF cheat sheets and ebooks for free. Just click the link in the description.